Now, I think I tried to introduce him earlier, Senator Stephen Brewer, Joint Committee on Ways and Means, and a prostate cancer survivor, and I think I know what he wants to tell us about.
Thank you again, Michael. I have a proclamation from the governor. There's been a lot of whereases, and I will save that, but this is actually Governor Deval Patrick, Lieutenant Governor Tim Murray, and it's signed by the Secretary of the Commonwealth, William Francis Galvin, recognizing Prostate Cancer Awareness Day. I'll give that to you in a minute. Senator Donnelly is also going to speak to you. Very briefly, first of all, to all of the medical technicians that are here, the scientists, the physicians, all of you, thank you for your passion. Thank you for your work in helping in this dreaded disease. When you sit on a stool in the doctor's office and they say these three words, you have cancer, everything else in your world changes. You don't worry about the vacation home. You don't worry about the dent in your fender that your kid put in your car. All you think about is tomorrow. A couple of lessons I learned is that no one should go through this alone. You find out that the people that you love even more, and how important they are. You also understand the history of this. 11 years ago, in this corridor, on this floor, the day was ending, and my friend Steve Kulig and I were walking. He says, "You got a minute?" And he told me about his diagnosis. I thought it was prostate cancer, not prostate cancer. I knew precious little. And I was so crushed. Steve and I are from Western Massachusetts. We share an awful lot of commonality. And I looked at him, and he went through that surgery, and he was back and back better than ever. And frankly, his daughter had to remind him when the 5-year date had expired, that magic 5 years of being cancer-free. And that's an example. But the surgery and the diagnosis that Steve went through was so much different than what I went through when I had it 2.5 years ago. I had the Da Vinci robotic prostatectomy, which is a $2 million robot, frankly. My surgeon said he's the best video game player in the world, frankly. And I knew how expensive it was, $2 million bucks. And he said, "It was worth it to you, wasn't it?" And I said, "You're damn right it was." Exactly 30 days from that surgery, I was chairing a hearing in Winchendon with the judiciary, and I was vice chairman of Senate Ways and Means. It was 30 days out, and I was at the table for 12 hours. Now, needless to say, it didn't help the judiciary accounts that much, but nevertheless, drank three bottles of water, like I would have before the prostate surgery, but it was only 1 month out. It is invasive, it is painful, it is scary. It's the scariest thing I've ever done in my entire life, I think. But you can get through it. I drive from Barrie to Boston in brutal 3-hour commutes and never have to stop, if you know what I mean. At 63 years old, that's a pretty good deal no matter what. But what we've learned from Dr. Saturn, and every speaker that gets up here will pronounce her name differently today, but she leads the charge on the organization of this. And you are just a tower of light for us, and we thank you. We are so grateful for those that will go before us. But if you get a chance to look at the literature today and find out that the technology, it's kind of like the $6 Million Man. You remember that movie, the TV show? We have the technology. We do have the technology, but we need to continue the investment. So rather than having the robot cut into you in 5 different spots in your abdomen and rip out a precious piece of your organ, frankly, of your life, that was put there, obviously, by whoever created us, particular, I believe, God and our parents, to have that not taken out. If you can get to that faster and sooner through the lasers that they can get in there in this technology, we are on the cusp of this. And we are on the cusp of a mountain of other things since 10 years ago when Steve had his surgery done. We in Massachusetts are on the edge of this great breakthrough. We need to continue our investment. As chairman of Ways and Means, I get to look at a lot of bar graphs and line items. And I saw what the federal government is doing in increasing that bar graph, increasing the investment for the National Cancer Institute, increasing the investment for all of these things. But let me say this, guys, if you're 45 years old and you have a history, go get the DRE done. And remember that the PSA is important. I can even know what it means, prostate-specific antigens. You learn the language, frankly. If you're 50, clearly get it done, and get it done every 5 years. And get at that thing. It isn't all that bad, Mike, as you well know. It's not like the battle's on the ice, I'll tell you that. And you will do a favor. You will do a favor for your kids, for the person that loves you. You will do a favor for the rest of your family as well. And don't be afraid to talk about it. We can. I'm old enough to remember how many things we have beat in the cancer arena already, and we can do even more. So stay involved. And again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.